will take this inside a div, okay? And I will give this class emojis container. Emojis container. I will make this display flags. By default, the flex direction is row, okay? So I will not add any direction because we need the emojis side by side. So they will come in as a row. So whatever I will add in here, it will be in a row. Okay. So when I add here emojis, we copy it. Control C. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's
And
cool.
now I need justify content. Justify content space align. Align items should be center. Let me remove. We don't need justify. I will take another div. Okay. This is our main container. Main container. And everything inside this is in the center. Let me add change the class to main container. Nothing changed. And now
Please don't make noise. Oh. Don't make noise. Go to the power.
okay, we will center this later. Let me remove justify. So far so good. Okay. And now I need spaces between these two. Remove add container. I will copy this class. Okay. Dot display flex. Flex direction is column, and I will justify content. So when I refresh, there is space between is too much. I should say space around, or I should say space evenly. It should change space evenly. And for this container also display flags, justify content, space evenly. Emojis container. I am taking everything inside a container. Okay. This will be also display flags.
Nobody know the one that is real or not. Everything will just be raw.
Justify content, space evenly. And now this I will also add inside a container. My this is the container for this. Heading for the heading. Okay. Let me take
Please
inside
don't
the
call me.
container.
Please don't call me. I'm having this.
This is why I'm crying. I don't have this thing I have. I
See,
don't have
the,
contacts. I've already bought
I will
plastic
name
to
this
put my
container
pixel. The
wait,
person that will
wait,
patronize me
plus
will
is
wait,
call
equal
me.
to
I
please.
wanted to put my SIM. I even
heading
wanted to call. I
Excuse
was
me.
trying to charge
container.
my phone. It's Airtel internet.
Excuse me.
They tell me that I'm not supposed
Excuse
to
me.
shout.
You're supposed to shout, but what this is you are doing is, do you know that is you that made yourself still be looking for this same card now? Please, I'm learning something. Don't allow this Yamata to come and affect what I'm learning. It's because of the way you are behaving. That SIM card entered and I refuse to come out.
Because it's a class, we will add
Don't
dot
just
before
come
it.
and be crying unnecessarily. It's
And
okay.
we will make this display flags and justify content
It's funny. It's not funny.
space
I'm telling you the truth.
evenly.
This is it's totally unfunny. Don't kill somebody in this house.
Okay. So our front end is ready almost. For this p tag emojis
What of
container,
yesterday you are going
we have to
my friend? Why are you
increase the
crying?
font size emojis container.
Why are you crying? Calm down. Later.
We'll increase the font size to
Please mind your business. Please mind your business.
If you want me to mind your business, go to the farm and cry. Show wisdom to me.
30
Let
px
me affect
so
you.
that the emojis are
What
bigger.
are you? If I hear you cry like this used to kill somebody. Oh.
Now as you can see the emojis are
Somebody
bigger.
has to be high. Anytime somebody has to be high. It's not good. To be honest, God is my word. This is
This is our
affecting
front
me.
end.
It's not I'm telling you so you see that maybe I care for you. I
Now
care
I
for
will
you.
again
This is what
explain
I'm trying to do.
what I have did.
All these things are affecting all these
This is
this
our
all this
main div.
behavior. This is being
which is closing on line 33. It's the main container, and I have set this container display flags and flags direction will be column. As you can see here, this is main container, display flags flash direction column. Why I have take this column? Because every child of this container will be in in one column. This is first child, this is second child, this is third child, which is input. Everything will come in second line. This is third and this is fourth. And these are the subcontainers, and they are by default display flags, and by default display flags, which means they are in a row. Okay, for example, if I add another h1 here, let me say our emojis, this will add this h1 beside the my emojis, because this is flags direction row. Now if I refresh, look, it's adding to beside our emojis. And if I add another inside this h3 your emojis, this will come beside our emojis. So everything will be coming in a row. This is first row, this everything will come in a row. And for this also, this container also display flags direction call row. So everything is coming in a row. Got my point? Everything clear until now?
Go on.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's very clear. What about you, Chelsea? Akimichi. What about you? Okay, maybe it's not here.
Yes, there is one another person, Shoji.
Yeah, or
If there
maybe
is any question, you can ask. We all are learning here. Okay.
yeah, maybe it's not with us.
Okay, no problem. Now we'll move to JavaScript. I will add here ID emojis, because we need this from JavaScript. Okay, and input type does there is ID units input. Okay, this is fine. And inside buttons we have IDs, and inside this button we do not have any ID. ID is equal to, let me say, remove minus btn, and here I will say ID is equal to and remove minus btn minus begin. Here we also should add minus btn minus end, and then minus btn minus begin. Okay, I will add a script tag here. Script closed. Source is equal to index dot js. Now I will take, first of all I will take this id. I will name it constant emojis is equal to document dot get element by id emojis, and we will have constant for every button. We will have event listener.
Yeah, you forgot to declare it.
Document get element by id. We will save this. And we have another constant for begin button.
You did not declare it there.
Hmm?
All right.
These all
Yes,
are
yes, yes.
declaration.
Yes, I saw it. They are together. Give it some spaces so
Because
can
we
read
have to
them.
add event listener to every button. This is the add button to the end. This is the add button to the beginning, and
I th-
we
I
will
th-
have
I
event
think
listener for
I think you give it some spacing in the equal sign in the
hmm?
assignment. I think you give it spacing in the assignment operator.
Where?
The equals.
Okay, here,
Yes. No,
like
little
we
space.
can make it linked.
Okay.
So it's now looking neat. And now we will take constant for remove and adding button. Control C, remove from end button. Underscore and underscore. I will copy and paste, and this will be from begin, and here the ID will be begin. So let me add more space. Okay. Now we want event listener for every button. So I will add event listeners. Add BTN and dot add event listener. Click. After click, we will say what he should do. The button. What should do the button. And we will add four event listeners for four buttons. This event for begin and let me remove dot add event listener. Click function, and after clicking what should happen. and here this is for the end. So we have to arrange these. First of all, we have add button, begin.
Boutique shirt. God, where is this stupid phone? See me see trouble. Child. God. God. Oh.
First of all, we have I will remove this from here, and I will call the render function here. Okay, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
First step is finished. Now I have added these three default emojis here, and they are displaying whenever I refresh. They are always there. Now we have to make our buttons functional. First of all, this button. Um, this button. What we say here. Then, about push and pop and shift and unshift. I also need this ID. Now we will fetch the value of this input value. Whatever we enter here, we should push because this is this button is add to end, so we will push because to push to the array to the end last index. Yeah, we will say emoji okay, dot push whenever we have this button, and the value will be from this input button. Emojis dot for input.
Please don't come here. Please. Please.
So whenever we press this button, it will add to the end of the array. Let me copy and emoji. I will paste add to the also we should call the render function here. Shading trend. Can you see?
Yeah.
There is someone who's telling admit me please. As for so far so good. So this button is working now. We will add anything. So it will add to the end. I will add this emoji, paste it, add to end. Let me refresh. And if I add this, copy and is adding this. And now you have to make this button functional add to begin. As you know, for adding to the begin, there is a function name unshift. Unshift add item to the first index of the array. So this is the button here. Add begin. We will say images array dot unshift. So it will add to the begin of the array. And value will be from our input. Whatever we have entered in the input. Images
I think.
underscore input
Hello.
dot value.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah, I think
yes, bro.
you should be aware in case someone wants to come in.
Someone is coming.
Yeah, I think you should be aware.
And now I have made the begin function work. After that we will call the function render. And because render is what is render doing, it's looping through the array. Emojis array dot length. This array we have declared here. Emojis array. By default, there are three emojis. These emojis will be every time there. And we set the emojis dot inner text is equal to because this is the paragraph, okay, and this is the id emojis, and we are telling that inner text. But we are giving this inner text by JavaScript, okay, and we are telling this emojis array dot length I plus plus console dot log. We were checking that if it's consoling or not. We don't need this now, and then we said emojis dot inner text plus is equal to emojis array of I, looping through all the array and adding first time it loops, it will add this emoji. Second time it loop, it will add this emoji plus because we are using plus to the same array. And third time we loop, it will add this emoji to the inner text. If we don't
Please,
use
you can go
plus,
to
it
the
will not.
next one.
It will add only the
Don't try now.
last item of the array. It will loop through the array, and because we are not adding again and again, so
Please
it
go
will
to the
only add
next
the
one.
last item in the array. Let me show you if I remove the plus, and when I refresh, so last item of the array is coming only.
Please go to the next one, now, please.
So we need this plus here. When I do this and refresh the page, so all are coming. And when it loops through all the arrays, then it should make the inner text empty again. Because if I don't do this, let me show you. If I don't do this thing, let me add an emoji here. Control C, Control V. Now you will notice that we will, if I click add to end, we will have this emoji repeated, and this emoji, and then in the last this. Look, he is adding this one, and then this one, and then this one, and at the end he is adding our new emoji, which is this we have given. And if now again I add like this emoji, he will what he will do, he will add this emoji, this emoji, this emoji, this emoji, and this one, and this one, and this one. After that he will add this one. So from here you will see repetition will occur after this crying emoji, all the repetition will occur. Look, after this crying, all the repetition is coming from the beginning to the crying emoji. And after crying, we are getting this our new emoji. So we don't want this. That's why we are telling him whenever he come outside of the for loop, make this an empty string again. The inner text, this. And whenever refresh, there are three default emojis we are having, which will be rendering outside the any event listener, so they are always on the page. I'm calling this here render, this render function. And now for the add to begin event listener, for this button, I am telling him emojis array dot unshift. By unshift we add to the first index of the array. It will always add to the first index of the array, and we are taking this value from emojis input dot value, which is this input. As you can see, this is the id emojis input. This is the id. Okay, sorry, this one emojis input is equal document got element by id emojis input, and I am taking this constant emojis input dot value and pushing it. Unshift means push to the first item of the first index of the array. And now we have to make these two button functional. The remove button from beginning and the remove button from the end. Let me take first this button, remove button from the beginning. For removing, there are two function, uh, push and pop. Sorry, pop and what was the other for removing from the way shift. Okay, Shift will remove from the first index of the array, and pop will remove from the end of the array. So here we will use shift my array was our array name emojis array dot, because we have to remove from the beginning, so we will use shift. Whenever we press the button, it will remove from the beginning, and we will call the render function again here. And here we will use emojis array dot pop, because it will remove from the end of the array, and I will call the render again here. So let me refresh, and I will press remove from end, it should remove this emoji. And when I press from beginning, it should remove this emoji. So it removed the first and last emojis. This was our project, and it's now working fine. Any questions? Hello.
It's a nice project. Just say what do you have to say about it?
It's nice. I like it. But though I didn't attend from beginning, but I could pick some one or two things here.
If you are having any question, you can ask.
Okay, I don't have for now.
Let me explain you from the beginning because you came late. I will explain you.
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, we have built the front end. We are taking main container. This is the main container, and it's closing on line 31. Okay, and in index.css, we have this main container, display flex, and flex direction column. By flex direction column, we mean that everything inside this container should be in a column. Look, my emojis, it's coming in the column, and these are coming in a column, and these and this in a column, and this in a column. I will explain you more. So inside this container we have subcontainers. This container for the heading container,
Please help me close that door.
and we make this heading container display flex as well. Here I will show you this heading container. We make it display flex. By default, flex direction is row. So I did not mention here because we want this container to be row. If I say flex direction row, there will nothing change. Okay. By flex direction row, we mean that inside this container, whatever we add, it will come next to it. Like you can say even the div. By if you know that div is a block property, so it will always come to the another line. Here I'm adding div. Inside div, I will say hello. So logically, it should come to the next line because div is this display block, but it will come beside the my emojis heading because this is display flex and flex direction row, so everything will come in a row inside this. As you can see, hello is coming beside it. Can you see here?
Yes.
Yes. And same like this is emojis container. We also make this display flex and flex direction is row. So if I add another p tag, As you know, p tag is also a display property block. It should come in a next line, but this will come in the same line. This will come next to images. As this will come next to emojis. As you can see, because the text will be that's why it's going down. So you can see it's coming to the row, same row of this. And also input container, we have input container, and this is also flex direction row. If I add another input like it should come beside, it will come next to this. Look, it's coming next to it.
Yeah.
And this is also same goes for this. For we have container, and in this container there are two buttons, and they are also flex direction row. So buttons are coming side by side. As you know, buttons are by default they are display block, but they are coming side by side here because its display flex and flex direction is row. And for last two buttons, they are also inside the container, and this is also display flex, and they are coming side by side. Let me remove this. I don't want. So front end, I think will be clear for you.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yes. And let me remove the help. And let me explain you the JavaScript part, because as you know, we have four buttons.
Yes.
So every button is doing something. We take IDs inside every button so that we can use these buttons in JavaScript. Remove button and we give this button ID remove button end because this is removed from the end. And we give this button ID remove button begin because this is giving uh, removing from the beginning. And this button is adding to the begin. We give this ID name button from begin. And this is adding to the end. So we give this ID add btn to the end because this is adding to the end. And here we define for every button we define constants. We should take every constant like this. Let me make it clean. So all the buttons are in. As you can see, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. These all are for the buttons. We are getting this document dot get element by ID add button and add button begin same like this. If you want to see what is coming inside this, you can console dot log. For example, I will say add button end or add button begin. Let me show you the console. Look, we are getting the ID hash add btn begin because we are telling him document.get element by id add button begin. So here I am getting add button begin.
Okay.
Then I say then I take four event listeners for every button, four event listeners. This is the event listener for the begin. I said whenever I click next what should happen I will tell him. I said if this button is clicked, the begin button, add begin button, the emojis array which is this dot unshift and shift always remove the first element of the array, which will remove this one, and it's adding. Sorry, it will add to the beginning of the array. So I'm telling that emojis array dot unshift. Unshift will always add to the beginning of the array, and what will be the value I am taking from the input. Whatever I enter here, it should push to the array in the beginning. If I enter like, let me tell you, if I don't take it dynamically, I'll take it from here and paste it. So this button always add this emoji to the beginning. Let me show you. Add to begin, add to begin, add to begin, add to begin. Look, always it's adding the to the begin these arrays, these emojis expression. But we want the array to add whatever we give in the input. Like if we give this to the input and add to and look, we're done. And and because in add to end button you will see that I am telling emojis array dot push. Push will always add to the end of the array. Now emojis, I am taking emojis input dot value. Whatever I am giving in the input, it should add to the array. So here you can see emojis input. I am getting this emojis input ID from here. Look, here there is ID emojis input. ID is equal to emojis input. What I am doing here now, I add another constant emojis input and document dot get element by ID emojis in. Okay. So whatever I am entering in the input value will appear here. For example, if I add it in the input element this emoji, let's suppose I added this emoji in the input here. I added this emoji, and now it will push this emoji in the array. Let me say what is this button? Add to print. As you can see, he is adding this emoji, this one. But I wanted to add emoji from the input, not every time same. And here also I am telling him to add to the beginning and shift always add to the beginning of the array and push will always add to the end of the array, last index. And these are two buttons, remove button and remove button from begin and remove button from end. I said emojis array dot shift. Shift will remove from the beginning of the array and emojis array dot pop. This will remove from the end of the array, and we are adding this in the two buttons, the remove button end and remove button beginning. And there is one function longer because I take this in a function as make the code cleaner. If I don't take this function, I have to this step in every Even let me remove the function, uncomment it. Yes, and I will comment here, and I will comment uncommenting. If I don't call the render function, I have to put this for let from here for let this. After shift, we have to again loop. After which, have to add like this. Look, now our code is getting bigger. Look, it's looking like very difficult thing. So much coding now.
Yeah.
You are not understanding what's happening. So I am taking this code from emoji.innerText to for loop in a function, and then I'm calling it. Let me undo all. So you understand now what this function is doing.
Yeah.
And I am in the index.html. If you see, this is the paragraph text in which our emojis are coming.
Yeah.
Index.html, they are empty. The emojis are coming from JavaScript. Look here, let emojis array is equal to, and I am rendering. So whenever I refresh, these three emojis, these three emojis are default emojis, and they will always be on the page. If I change these three from here, let me show you. Let me add another emoji. So these four are now default emojis. They will always be on the page. Whenever I refresh, they will always remain. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any question?
No.
So this was our basic project, and I think this is good for the beginners to understand the basic concepts.
Okay.
Yes. If you have any question, you can ask. Go through the code. Just look at it. What are you? Is there any confusion you are getting? You can ask any question because we are also learning like you.
Yeah.
So
Please, can I
everyone,
CSS coding?
you want to see the CSS?
Yeah.
This is the CSS.
Okay.
This is our main container, which is display flags and correct direction column. So everything inside this container will be in a column. Let me show you. This is our container. Yeah, this main container is closing on line 31. I'll add another to it. Tell me any element which is in line. It should appear in line, not on the next line.
Okay. Uh, H1.
H1. H1 is block, I think. It's take all the space.
Yeah.
You can search on Google. See HTML inline elements
Okay.
and tell me any inline element.
Span.
Yes, span is in line. Okay,
Yeah.
good, bro. Now, if I add span here after this button, this button is div. This button container div. The span, in your opinion, should appear here, right? Remove from beginning here. After remove from beginning, right?
Yeah.
Can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
Yes. Because span is in line, it should appear here. But if I add span here, span, I will say hello, Joseph, and I will refresh the page. Look, hello, Joseph is coming in next line, not beside the button. Can you see? It's
Yeah,
coming
sir.
here. Because this main container is flex direction column. Everything will appear in column.
Okay.
And inside this main container, there are sub containers. Heading is in a container, p tag is in a container, input tag is in a container, and these two buttons, the begin and end, which add to the begin and end, is in a container, and these two buttons, remove and end from the beginning, in a container, and we have classes for them. Remove button container, remove and I named it remove and container, so that we know that this is a container. We have two buttons which are removing and add from beginning and end of the array. And as you can see, if I come here, all other containers are display flex. There is no direction for them, as I am adding here flex direction column. All of them are only display flex. By default, the display direction for, if we say display flex, by default the direction is row. Let me say you, if I add here flex direction column, now you will see our buttons will appear on next line. These two buttons, add and container, which means the buttons which are and adding to the end and adding to the beginning, these two buttons. If I refresh now, you will see they will come in next line. Look, can you see? Because I changed the flex direction to column. If I add another button, four more buttons, let me say, copy this and paste again. All of them will come down, 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 down. Look, next line, next line, next line, because they are flex direction column. And if I again come here and remove this flex direction column, and you will see they will come side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. Because by default this is display flex, and which is by default flex direction row. We can add like flex direction row. There will be no effect. Because they are by default row. I hope it's clear to you.
Is my Class.
Hope that's clear to you.
No.
Any question?
No, sir.
Hmm?
No, I don't have any question.
Yes, yes. You can go through the CSS. You can check the code. If you have any question, you can ask.
Okay. This gold rod, where I didn't see it affect the this thing, the web page.
Hmm?
This
What?
gold rod, that number 22.
I number 22. Yes.
That go yeah, I didn't see it in the web page. So is it
This is for border for the input field. Input this.
okay?
Can you see this color here?
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can.
Yes. We can make it solid. Like I will say 5px solid, so that you can see difference. I'm refreshing, as you can see. Now it's
Okay, yeah.
appearing. And we added the background color to the body. So this background color is for whole body. Tell me when I have to scroll. You can tell me. I will scroll down.
Mm. Please scroll up. Okay, okay. I understand it.
Okay. You can message me. I will give you the source code because as uh, he mentioned in the group that whoever joins, he will get the source code.
Okay,
Then you can change the design as you wish. You can change these headings, these buttons. You can make font size bigger for the buttons. I think I am not adding the any font size for the buttons. So you can add font size larger for the buttons. Button are getting bigger,
yeah.
and also you can add font family. Font family. Okay. Very bad. Like this. You can change the design, the headings, and this and this and this.
Okay,
And now you can see it's all functional. If I take an emoji from here, copy this, and add to the begin, what happened? Okay, okay. Look here, we are calling render and this I forgot to delete. So now I'll add to the begin. Okay. Maybe sorry that as you know, Aniship
Yeah, capital letter emoji. Emoji
will
A.
add to the begin. Yes. Now if I press the button add to begin,
Yeah.
it will add to the begin.
Okay.
And if
Okay.
I press the button add to end, this emoji will be added to the end. Add to end.
Check the capital
Because
letter.
I was explaining it, that's why it's coming error. We change the thing. If I press add to end, it will add in the end. If I press add to begin, it will add to the begin. And if I press remove from end, it will remove from end. And if I press remove from the beginning, it will remove from the beginning. And whenever I refresh, there are four emojis by default because we are rendering outside the event listeners here. So we are rendering outside. Okay, and we are looking to this emojis array. Let I is equal to 0, I less than emojis array dot length I plus plus, and we are telling that emojis dot inner text plus, which is this paragraph. Here we are telling that inner text should be this one, emojis array of I, whatever inside the arrays should be paragraphs inner text and will appear here. If I refresh, it will always remain here. So hopefully it's clear.
Yeah, all is clear.
Okay. So you can message me or message Emmanuel. He will send you the source code.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
You are welcome. Emmanuel, are you there?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. I will send you the source code. Then you can send to anyone you want.
All right.
Those who joined with us. And are you recording the lecture?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You can send me the recording lecture link also. So I will see
All right.
and I will try to improve.
Okay. Thanks, bro.
Yes. And also I want reviews from you guys that how was the explaining parts and the voice is low or loud or
Is low,
is
but
fine.
is fine.
Voice is low.
No, is okay. Is okay. Is okay. Don't bother about it.
Okay. Okay. We can also take the uh, up from Joseph what he thinks. How was the explaining part and how was the project? Did he like it?